Hello everybody, welcome to the channel today. Let's discuss some things that happened in episode 4 of Yellowjackets. I wanted to start off with the trial of Coach's innocence. A lot happened and a lot was said during the trials, but I want to talk about what happened near the end. We see when they are voting to see if Coach is guilty or not, they couldn't get enough votes to conclude the trial, so they had to keep going until eventually someone changed their mind to get the majority vote. But Shaana scared and forced everyone into voting for him to be guilty, and as Lottie was staring at Shaana while she was screaming at them, we see some flashes of the wilderness, like when Travis was hearing the screaming. It's kind of similar to that, and some of the things that I think happened in this moment was maybe the wilderness was speaking through Shaana at that time, and in the previous episode the llama that we see in Akila's vision told her that it always gets what it wants, so maybe that's how Shaana was able to persuade everyone to vote him guilty, because we all know what's going to happen if that does happen. But it's possible that the wilderness is hungry again and wants another human to be sacrificed, and we all know that Lottie has not heard the wilderness ever since Shaana beat the crap out of her in the earlier seasons, so she probably raised her hand because she was shocked that it was happening again. I do believe that that scene was to show us that Lottie heard the wilderness again and it was through Shaana, so maybe she's a believer that Shaana should be the Antler Queen and just chose to stick with her in that moment. But I do think that Shaana is a lot closer to the wilderness or whatever it may be than we think. But next, let's talk about the scene with Shaana and Jackie, the adult Shaana and Jackie. But Shaana and Jeff sign up for community service to try to get some good karma after everything that they've done. And it's the same nursing home that Missy works at, but when Shaana is making the pudding, she steps into the feeder for something and the door shuts right behind her and it locks as well. Then we see Jackie in there and they talk a little bit, but Jackie says that someone wants to hurt her, and not for what she did in the wilderness, but what she did after she left. And we're not too sure what that could be. I'm thinking Shaana was the most feral one out of all of them, and maybe she did not even want to leave the wilderness when they had got rescued. So it's possible that she could have murdered someone and ate them a little after they got out of the wilderness. And I'm purely guessing about that, but what do you guys think? Did Shaana do anything like that, or was it something else, or did Jackie mean something else entirely by that? But the biggest shock of the episode is Lottie's fate. We do see in the beginning of the episode that Lottie wants to meet up with Ty, and also that it looks like that she was walking out of a bank or something like that, but Ty basically says that she can't at the moment, so Lottie accepts it. But there were sounds of construction and vehicles driving by all around the city, and Ty asks where she's at, and then Lottie kind of hangs up on her. And I do think that Lottie was in New York at the time and not in New Jersey, but we see her again talking to herself in the mirror, and it's like she's almost hyping herself up to get ready to meet someone. And before the scenes end, she says that she has a lot of apologizing to do also, but I think she could have been talking and apologizing to herself. We do see her looking in the mirror at herself, and I personally think that that is the case. And also I thought that it was going to be one of those scenes where the reflection just kind of like gets a sentience of his own and starts to talk back to her, and it almost felt like that was the case. But how do you all feel about that scene? Let me know. And before I continue with Lottie's fate, I want to talk about Van and Ty, but they also had a little bit of a fun time this episode as well. We see them planting a Queen of Hearts card on the ground, and it looks like they're trying to lure someone out to grab it. And I think we all know what's going to happen if someone does pick it up, but eventually a man does pick up the card and they follow him all the way to his apartment. And Van does talk Ty out of it before they follow him in, but I think that they need to kill someone as a sacrifice to keep healing Van until she's fully healed. But as we see the man that died on the first episode, they did not even touch him. So, and I think that maybe the wilderness or the man with no eyes took him themselves. So I'm not sure, maybe Ty and Van are going about this the wrong way. But we see the end of their date when Van's hand starts to tremble a little bit when she hands Ty a pretzel, and it's as if the cancer is immediately getting worse because they didn't sacrifice that man. And I do think Ty will kill someone for Van eventually. But back to adult Lottie, we go back to Misty and we see her get a text from Walter saying sorry for what happened to Lottie and asks how she's doing. But then she immediately opens up the community website and finds a post of Lottie. Looks like she's dead. Well, not look like, she's dead and laying at the bottom of a stairwell. And then the episode cuts to actually that moment, and we see her laying there, and it's playing like an ominous soundtrack as well. And then it eventually backs up, and we see like photos being captured and caution tape around her. So I think we can confirm that she is dead. And also, I think we can confirm that someone is actually after them as well. And it's not like previously where they just got like a text message from Jeff. I do think it's the same people that sent the postcards out, and I don't think Jeff is the one that sent out the postcard. But my first thought on who killed Lottie is Ty, because throughout the whole entire episode they were trying to kill that man to sacrifice him so Van would get healed, and Ty notices that Van's hands were trembling at the end of their date, and she probably knows that her cancer is going back to getting worse again. So it's a chance that Ty was the one that pushed her down those stairs so the wilderness could have its sacrifice. And also Lottie was heavily connected to the wilderness, so maybe Ty thought that if she killed her that she wouldn't have to kill anyone else, it would just fully kill Van. I'm not too sure, but let me know what you guys think about what happened there and who you think was the one to kill Lottie. It's also a chance that it could have been Hilary Swank's character, which we all believe to be Melissa, and she could have been the one to lock Shaana up in the freezer. We know that someone has been watching Shaana since episode 1 of this season, but let me know what you all think about the speculations and what are your own theories on this. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and if you liked the video, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on more content. But thanks for watching again, and I'll see you on the next one.